This is still TV3 New Day. Don't worry, we're not doing only serious business on the show today. Yes, as we are marking Nkrumah Memorial Day, we have some fun coming up shortly as well. So keep watching. We'll be right back.
Osagyefo. 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 How many times did I call you? You see, you can't even answer because your eardrums are still clouded with the irregular, provocative political frequencies of our very leaders. How then would you enjoy your rest if you still battle with the noisome pestilences of our very own motherland? Osagyefo. Oh, I wanted to speak more about you, Osagyefo, but you know, I realized this morning all TV stations are really talking more about you. So Osagyefo, let me shift focus to this point for some few minutes. Osagyefo, before you won the independence of our very own land, Osagyefo, remember that we had visitors who came into this very land on people who visited us. And they came into our strange land, our own motherland. They came into Africa, and these people navigated their way nicely into our homeland with a broom in hand. Osagyefo, if these ones had no other motives, then what kind of guest enters one's home with a broom in hand? Osagyefo, what kind of guest wakes up very early in the morning to sweep when the rightful owners of this very home are asleep? Osagyefo, they swept our leaders off their feet, they swept our resources, they swept everything of ours, and the rightful owners are still sleeping. If this guest who came with a broom in hand into our own motherland have no other motives, then I want to say, Osagyefo, to these fellow Ghanaians, they should keep sleeping. Keep sleeping. To the extent that the visitor came to your own home and swept. Who at all visits with a broom in hand? Osagyefo. Helper of the masses, Osagyefo. The offer of salvation to the people of our African nation. Oh, Osagyefo, the true lover of the African brand and selfless projector of the same brand. Osagyefo, today's Ghana has no helpers at all. Somebody they die, crash, somebody they caught. Somebody just won't be the very person to put it first on the internet. Osagyefo, internet entered our heads and changed our mindsets to the point that Osagyefo, Africans from other African countries towards one another turn irate. Many are living in dread. Babies are even scared. Osagyefo, I mean this because even you find 60 defiling 8, yet the insane on our streets are not acting the same. Osagyefo, sorry, wake up. Osagyefo, sorry. Because it's terrifying. This is sickening. We are petitioning, fellow Ghanaians. Are you hearing or you keep sleeping? One day here, keep sleeping. Our governance has been interrupted severally by this very guest who visited us way back, and they are still back in a nice fashion. You see, just like the heart of the world craves for the latest fashion, even beyond the oceans, Osagyefo. Hey, Osagyefo. Political osofo. Aman sign boafo. Misrewo. Sorry. You see, you said that our independence will be meaningless until it's connected to the total liberation of our African continent. Osagyefo, you again said that revolutions are brought about by men who think as men of action and act as men of thoughts. Osagyefo, you again said that Africa is rich and not poor. Osagyefo, these guests came back with not only a broom in hand into our own motherland, they also added a mop. They wiped us dry. To the point that we have even water bodies, but we can't drink of them. Hey, Galamsey, do I have a say? Fellow Ghanaians, do you have a say? Osagyefo, we must go past the realm of proving that Africa is rich and not poor. Because we must come to the realization of this very statement. We must live the riches of our very own land. Osagyefo, I'm an African, not because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me. Today, we can't even tell who is an African and who is not. We have no enemies. We are one people. But until we realize that we have key potentials to solve our own African problems on the continental basis, Africa will always live in poverty, even though we are rich and not poor. Africa, Nkrumah, you spoke of the new Africa. So on this very day, I want to project once again. And even before I do that, I want to ask that if it will be done, then let's shut the Temamoto way. Let's put off the Akosombo Dam. And all vital and significant things you've done in our own motherland, Osagyefo, will be left with nothing to boast about. Even the few ones that have been done are still in a state of, do me, I go back, you go do me again. Oh, Osagyefo. You see, I look forward to a new Africa where saving for living will be encouraged over saving for burial. I look forward to a new Africa where MPs won't travel overseas pretending they've not seen the kids in their communities who study under trees in their own communities. I look forward to a new Africa where there will be more of the Temamoto ways and Nadomi bridges. There will be more of the Eugenes, AK and USTs. I look forward to this very new Africa. Osagyefo, I speak so passionately about you because the storyline is being twisted. So I wonder what the new generation will actually dwell on. Osagyefo. Sorry. Go. Sorry. Sorry why? Osagyefo. Sorry. I won't talk much because this is your day and we celebrate you. So once again, Osagyefo, helper of the masses. Osagyefo, the offerer of salvation to the inhabitants of this very motherland. Oh, Osagyefo, the true lover and selfless projector of the African brand. Only a few cherish your legacy, even though others try to wipe it off. Osagyefo, we have awakened. Today, we have awakened and will not sleep again. Because from now on, there is a new African in the world. Osagyefo, we've come far. Thank you.
Africa. What were you trying to do?
I knew he would do something like that. I knew he would do something like that. Forward ever, backwards never.
Yeah. That's all you said?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Oh my days. Oh, but Albert, why did you leave us?
Maybe you should join us so we can talk.
Let's just have a little conversation with you. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm great.
How do you feel as a Ghanaian with all these things that you're saying? Not that we haven't done anything, we have, but it's been very little to talk about. How do you feel as a Ghanaian?
I'm terrible.
I need to speak into the microphone. Yes,
terrible.
yes. Yeah?
Because as a Ghanaian, as a young person growing up, let me speak for myself. I'm multi-talented.
Right.
But when you see, I have friends outside the country and they just focus on one thing and they make huge sum of money.
Right.
They live life to, you see, when you actually live in your passion, it's fulfillment.
Right.
Than stressing to actually make money, the 5 to 6 and all that.
Yeah.
It is actually terrifying now. And what hurts is we keep borrowing. and we keep deceiving people. And that is one thing we're also looking at doing, because we actually want to focus on changing the negative African narrative.
Right.
And this can come from having quality public education, because the politicians are leveraging on the ignorance of the masses. So if we can actually change the trend, and when we go to schools, we tell them, whatever you learn in school, do well to pass it on to your parents who do not know how to read and write, because they are the masses. And most of them determine who becomes the next government. So if they cannot think critically and we're still thinking politically, meanwhile, we've been to University of Ghana, I can say, because I've been there, we do critical thinking. But only a few on even University of Ghana campus think critically. And politicians have actually infiltrated the system to the point that they've now gone into the campuses to take over the SRC.
It's amazing.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So it's terrible now.
Thank you.
Anyway.
Sure.
Thank you, Albie.
We'll find
critically,
time.
not politically.
Exactly.
So that you can be
Politically,
economically
Soundically.
Okay, so let's go and fix the country. Can we do that?
Yeah.
All right. So after the 4th of August Fix the Country demonstration, well, organizers of the protest stated that it will be replicated across the other regions of our dear nation, Ghana. So